In this episode with Mariana Ruiz, you'll learn how to embrace your entrepreneurial spirit. And you'll learn how group coaching creates synergy and efficiency. And you'll also learn how to leverage the power of your subconscious mind to transform your life. Let's jump in.
The Life I Deserve, sharing creative ideas, inspirational stories, and fresh perspectives that will empower you to live your life to the fullest.
Hi, I'm Jack Canfield, and you're listening to The Life I Deserve by my good friend, Adrian McMillan.
Welcome to The Goal Show, brought to you by The Life I Deserve. I am your host, Adrian McMillan. Today, I have Mariana Ruiz. Mariana is a certified business coach, consultant, and international best-selling author who helps seasoned coaches and consultants scale their businesses by creating and launching their profitable group coaching programs. By using her background in brain science and hospital administration in combination with her 12 years of marketing, sales, and business experience, she helps you get results for your clients at scale. Market in a way that attracts your ideal clients and convert followers to group coaching clients through service-based selling. She has been featured in various podcasts, blogs, and online courses, including the Huffington Post, Today.com, and the Millionaire Insider Extravaganza. Through working with hundreds of businesses, she has empowered them to increase their profit and serve more people all over the world with group coaching. Welcome, Mariana.
Thanks for having me, Adrian.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm very interested in your niche, your specialty here. I think that as somebody who wants to inspire people myself, that's my mission. That's what I want to do, help people to reach their goals. If I can do it at scale, if I can work with groups, which I do in live workshops, but I really want to do that more online. So I can't wait to hear more about what you have to offer. But first, I would love to start off with a little bit of you, your background, and your journey, if you don't mind sharing a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So I think I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. I mean, when I was probably 8, I started. So I immigrated here from Venezuela, and we lived in Iowa. My parents were studying to get PhDs and different stuff. And we lived on a college campus. So I was like, what do we got here? Lots of cans. There was lots of drinking going on. So my best friend and I decided to create like a little baby business where we would just buy all the cans we'd go to door to door, buy them off of people, and then we would go and return it for like 2 cents profit. I mean, it was crazy. But that's like how I've always thought. I've been a very entrepreneurial person since I was a kid. And growing up, as you can imagine, with parents that have a PhD in high education and all that, I was pretty much going down the rabbit hole of more education means that's what you got to do, and that's what I did. So I went to get a degree in psychology first, and I loved everything about the brain. I still do. It's like one of my really, really geeky things I love. And then during that process, I realized it was going to be a long haul, and I really wanted to get my hands dirty. And obviously, like an entrepreneur, right? I really wanted to do stuff. So I thought, okay, I love brain science. Let me go into nursing. So that's what I did. I got a degree in nursing, and my first job out of nursing school, I was 23 and was in the neurosurgical ICU. So I worked with very, very ill patients on recovering them from brain surgery and really moving them through that process. But what happened is my body just could not keep up. I was 25 and already had injuries all over my body from lifting heavy patients and moving people around. And the work was grueling, and overnight shifts and 24-hour shifts and all this kind of stuff. So I ended up moving my way up the corporate ladder, and my son was born, and I was already working in administration. the entrepreneurial bug was alive and well still. So I had some side businesses going on. And then my daughter was born, and she was a preemie, born at 2 pounds, just 28 weeks. And I had to rely on those side businesses. And that's when I was like, whoa, I really got to make this work. So I went all in on my businesses, and I got to 15K months. I had a full practice, a full coaching practice with one-on-one clients. And that was all right, except for I had no nanny and 2 kids under 2 at the time. So as you can imagine, I was pretty busy. And I thought, okay, there has to be a better way to organize this so that my life can really, my business supports my life too. It can't just be only business or only work. Like, there was a part of me that was thinking, okay, when I become an entrepreneur, I can make my own schedule and not work as much, right? And then I had that, but then I was working even more. So I decided to venture down group coaching, and that's how I got to doing what I do. And then what I discovered in group coaching settings is that it's really transformational for people, because there are questions that you are just not at the level of awareness that you even know you have to ask. And then somebody else asks it, and you're like, whoa, that's exactly what I needed, or exactly what I was thinking. And I had no idea, right? So the transformation can just be so much deeper, and can really help people in a different way than the one-on-one coaching did. So I have really, really become passionate about group coaching and teaching this model to different businesses. And that's how I got to doing what I do.
I love it. First of all, I love anything that has to do with the brain. I love studying how the brain works. I find it fascinating. I'm a big fan of Jack Canfield, and he teaches about the power of visualization and how it triggers your subconscious to identify resources and tools that you need to get your goals. And ever since then, I love to absorb material and brain science. And so it sounds like you were very interested in what's going on in our heads, but you were working in a very physical manner and not really using all that knowledge necessarily. But then you found a way to use that knowledge, and then you found a way to even do it in a group setting, which became more beneficial and more efficient, which I find really interesting. And I find that happens with my workshops too. And that's why I've been doing more of my live workshops as opposed to one-on-one coaching. I think I just figured it out as you were speaking. I think that's what I love, is the group dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really great. So it sounds like this was your path to finding your true purpose and to find the way that you could serve in the best way, and just to reach the most people in the most effective manner.
Yeah, I mean, when you had sent me the pre-questions about the purpose, I was like, you know what? Since it's been the entrepreneurial spirit all along, but since I was a kid, I just wanted to help people. Like, that is ultimately what I've always wanted. And in fact, my brand is called the Impact Driven Entrepreneur, right? So it's really just about being someone who wants to be of service and wanting to help others. And so that is my purpose. It's just looked very different, right? Whether I'm helping a hospital when I was working in administration, or whether I was helping the patients really intimately in that setting. But it's always been my path and my purpose. It's just expressed differently based on the phases of my life.
Yeah, I love that. And I love to help people to follow their passion, identify their purpose, and go for that. The thing is, for a lot of us, that passion and that purpose, it is that side gig, it is that hobby, and it may have been that way for you, although it sounds like you were making some money until the point where you were like, okay, I got to make this work. And then you found ways to become more efficient, more productive at doing your own thing. And now you're helping other people to do that, it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. I mean, I think everything happens for a reason. I think that me having to be in that position where I literally could not go back to a job was ultimately the best thing that has ever happened for me, because it gave me this opportunity to really take my business seriously. Now, I think for other people, right, if that's not your path, that's okay, right? We just have to get really, really good at managing the business and doing it effectively so that we can do it while you still have, the job that's sustaining you for now, right? So it's really just about that balancing act of like, okay, let's get this business up to where it is full time.
Right. And I'm sure you had a lot of lessons along the way to try to turn into something sustainable. Um, because I run into people all the time. They have their dream, but they don't believe it's almost as if, and I grew up with this mentality, and I'm maybe you have some advice for me on this as well. But I grew up in an area where work was essentially a four-letter word. It
Mm.
is a four-letter word, but I think you know what I mean. It
Mm.
it almost wasn't supposed to be something that you loved. And so it's tough when you grow up in that environment because you have a dream, you have something you're passionate about, but you almost cannot completely believe that you can make a sustainable living doing what you really love because where you grew up, in that environment you grew up in, that's not the thing. People dread their work. They go to work because they have to. It's just not the thing. Nobody does the work they love in some environments. And some people are raised like that. And so that's something that I have been able to overcome somewhat, but I still know it's there somewhat. And I need to get over that. And I need to fully believe that your work, your livelihood can be something amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? I see this a lot in the service profession. Like if we're in the service profession, we can't make that much money, you know? So I think I see both sides of that. Either you were born and into a family that, work was a dreaded thing, or the service mentality that like you just can't make any money doing something that helps people. So I think for those two things, what I recommend is that you look, so let's talk about the brain. Your brain, you have a reticular activating system, it's called. And basically, what it does is it will look for patterns based on what you're feeding it. So you can feed it, right? Up until now, we've been feeding it messages that work has to be unfun. You can't make money doing something you love, and that definitely not if you're helping people, right? Like those are the thoughts or the beliefs that we've been feeding it. So instead, what we want to do with our reticular activating system is feed it what we want it to believe, right? So we want it to believe that work can be fun. Want it to believe that you can make a lot of money or a great amount of money that will support you and your family and your goals with the type of work that is fulfilling. And so, what you will want to then do is start to tell yourself that first, as in an affirmation. And then you can ask yourself questions that will elicit that same pattern to activate your reticular activating system. So, what I mean by that is you might say, what is something that I will enjoy doing today in my work? Right. And so you're eliciting questions that will allow you to have fun, right? Or allow you to see prosperity, right? Maybe it's, okay, who can I look up to that really is having fun, is having a business that helps others, or a situation that helps others, a career that helps others, and is profitable or, very wealthy or whatever it is that you're looking to create. And so when you look for the examples, then you want to kind of like surround yourself with them a little bit more, right? Like if they create content online, go listen to their content online, right? Like that kind of thing, so that you are really reminding yourself, and then your reticular activating system will start to see that pattern. But it starts with creating intentionally and then feeding your brain examples of that, and then eliciting questions. Eliciting questions is one of my favorite tools because your brain wants to answer questions. It's programmed to do this. So let's give it questions that are going to serve us.
I love that. Yes, I'm just right there with you. I couldn't have said it better. Um, we, so many of us, we grow up just asking the wrong questions, don't we?
Hmm.
Why can't I achieve this? Do I always screw things up? And the brain's going to answer you. The brain's going to
Of
give you
course,
reasons.
lots
Okay,
of
well,
reasons.
there's reason A, reason B, reason C. Yeah, if we ask better questions, we can get better answers. I love that.
Hmm. Yeah,
And the environment that we're in, that is a huge part as well, which you touched on. And we do need to surround ourselves with people who have the success mindset and who believe the stuff we're talking about, whether that is reading books, podcasts. If you can do it in live, if you can actually be around people, that is huge. But yes, I agree completely. Our environment plays a big part. And then another thing I think you touched on was that we do have our life is essentially a self-fulfilling prophecy. We
absolutely.
will find evidence to support our beliefs. So we need to reshape those beliefs. If there's if anybody can achieve great things and achieve a successful business, we can. There are
Mhm.
so many stories of people who have dealt with harder challenges than you or I. I mean, I don't know all the challenges you've dealt with, but
I
for
can
anybody,
guarantee. Oh yeah. Oh
yes,
yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's the beautiful thing, right? Is like we can get down on ourselves about what we are experiencing as circumstances, or we can choose to say, you know what, this is just an opportunity, right? An opportunity for growth. And if I want you to really listen, when I said that, having a preemie daughter, like it was intense, right? She had open heart surgery 1 week into her life and came home to me on breathing machines and breathing monitors. And they're like, you were an ICU nurse, you can handle this, right? So that was really tough. But if you listen to how I said and shared my story, I actually said that was the best thing that could have ever happened for me. I'm not the victim of that situation or that circumstance. That was an opportunity for me. It was an opportunity for me to step up into my role as an entrepreneur that I knew I always was, but never gave myself a chance because I was asking the wrong why questions, right? Why can't you do this, right? You can't do that. You have to go to school, right? Like all of those things. And I was believing the circumstance or the thoughts and the ideas that I was really brought up in. And that's totally fine. That's normal, right? That was just my path. And I think for all of us, we have an opportunity to create intentionally, to decide this, just like you said, right? If another person can do that, I can too, right? We are all humans. We are equal as humans. And so, therefore, we all have the same ability to learn new skills, to grow, to evolve ourselves, to reinvent ourselves, to create the life that we truly want.
yes, exactly. So I, I hear your story, and that's a challenging situation you went through.
Mhm.
And there's other people I've talked to and interviewed, and they went through like a pivotal point as well. They had a big challenge, and it was that challenge that actually got them to make that pivot and to really take their life in a better direction. I'm hoping that my audience, I hope they don't all face the challenges that you faced. They may face bigger challenges as well. But let's say somebody's watching or they're listening and their life's going fine. And it's almost a bad thing. I think you know where I'm going with this. Because
Mhm.
if your life is okay and it's going fine, then sometimes there's not that big challenge, that big pivotal point to take it to amazing. So, what kind of advice can you give where somebody their life is just going okay? How can they go from okay and good to actually make that pivot without having that huge challenge, that huge, struggle?
Yeah, I think I think it's really looking at what is the path you're going on and asking yourself if 1, 2, 5, or 10 years down the line, this is truly where you want to be, right? Because it's not until we see the compound effect of those decisions of staying where you are that we are going to say, you know what? No, that is not my path, right? So I think it's really looking at that compound effect over 5, 10 years and say, is this still where you want to be that far down the line?
Exactly. And if that doesn't work, then okay, look at the last few days of your life. If you are on your deathbed, are you going to look back and say, I really gave it my all?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what I want for everybody watching, everybody listening. I want you all to reach the potential that you deserve and that you're capable of. So, Mariana, if you could tell us a little more about your products and services that could help my audience to actually achieve these amazing results, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. So my program is called the Profitable Impact Formula, and it's all about really creating a business that is profitable, sustainable, and really stands the test of time while helping others, right? So, as I said, my business is all about helping others. So that's what we do. And it's a group coaching program. It's a year long, right? And the work we're doing is really adding 6 figures in revenue with a group program, right? So specifically with a group program, we're adding that 6 figure revenue stream to your business. And we've had clients who are in the beginning phases of a business, or maybe doing this as a side business that they're moving towards. So it really depends on where you are in your business and what you want to do. But it's a beautiful gift to give your potential clients and your actual clients the gift of group coaching. Like I said, the community aspect and all of that. So that's what we really, my program is all about.
Great. Yeah, nobody should have to do it alone.
Mhm.
Community provides support. It also helps people to know that there's other people in the same situation that they're in, and it makes the the great outcome actually seem more possible. I think as well when you have other people on that same journey and other people who have actually are further along down that journey. So I love the community aspect. So how can people get in touch with you and find out more information?
Yeah, so you can go to my website, impactdrivenentrepreneur.com. I do have a free gift. It's a group coaching checklist, and you can get it at impactdrivenentrepreneur.com/group checklist.
Great. Well, thanks so much for your time, Mariana. It was great to have you on my show today. In this episode, Mariana touched on the amazing power of visualization. Visualization puts your subconscious mind to work for you, showing you how you can access the tools, resources, and opportunities that you need to achieve your goals. To help you to harness this amazing tool, I'm providing you with a free gift. Just go to thelifeideserve.com/visualize. That's thelifeideserve.com/VISUALIZE.
Thanks for listening. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to live a passionate, fulfilling life. Subscribe so we can take this journey together. A journey of sharing, learning, and growing. A journey to the life you deserve.